Hello everybody. Now Julia tells me that this feature here is called a meander, and it's something she did in O-level geography about 1,000,000 years ago. So there you go. We've come down to the forest. We just wanted to get a bit of space. And actually my phone this morning did one of those things where it looks back at some of the photos it's got from past times, and it created a little montage which it called Silent Reflection, which I actually thought was not a bad thing to do. And it reminded me also that on Friday, the Clare Estonia for us had managed to go down to Longfleet Road, just near the hospital, because Jane Lloyd's funeral took place on Friday. Some of you remember Jane was our pastoral support person, and she had a fabulous career in hospital chaplaincy. And so the 200 people stood outside the hospital and they clapped her as the cortege went past on Friday, which just is just a fabulous way of marking a life of great service, but also lived well for God. And it just reminded me that the sort of reflection, sometimes we need to take a bit of space, because there's a lot of quite hard things happening at the moment. I mean, even this week, I know Rachel has been dealing with a really tricky safeguarding issue. We've had quite robust partnership meetings with some folk, and even some of our partners are really going through it. Our folk at the YMCA, really remember them, because they're taking a lot of flack at the moment. They've got some quite difficult situations that they're dealing with, so we remember them. But it is just a moment to actually take, okay, there's those three things which we always say we need to do, don't we? We need to take some time if times are tough. We need to talk with each other, so keep passing on ideas and encouragements on the WhatsApp. And as they say, need to take a bit of time to wonder, and there's so many things right now to just enjoy in terms of the creation. So please make sure you're looking after yourselves in those ways. But it's also good, remember, the reflection thing is also helpful to look back. So Tracy does some fabulous work with Sarah in Christchurch to actually build a timeline of all the history of Christchurch Food Bank. We want to give this, have this for all of our food banks, to give to new steering group members, and it's a great reminder of, look at the stuff that has been done over these years. Look at the faithfulness, look at God, look at the good things that we've come up with, the new ideas. Actually, Tracy reminded me that up till last year, 8,000 parcels are given out in the history of Christchurch Food Bank. In 1 year last year, 14,000. Now, it's one of those things where you go, well, should we clap because that's amazing? But it's also just a reminder of the scale of the issue, and no, we shouldn't really clap, because actually what we want to see people is getting out of food poverty. A reminder for this week, we've actually just helps me remember, we've got an access to food plan for BCP, and we're going to be working on that this week to get some details of that, so I'm going to pass that on to you. That's for all sorts of people. We've also got coming up this week on Monday morning, this morning, we've got an ABCD seminar. So some of you are going along, asset-based community development. So that's about all the strengths in the community, how they can work together to actually resolve some issues. That's us. We're really in the heart of the community. So we're going to see what that does. The council are all over it. They're really into ABCD at the moment. So we want to make sure we are reflecting what we're doing in all of that. A couple of other things that are coming up. So you remember last week we talked about the brand review. So there will be an email this week, I promise you, to invite you to the first session of that. But the second thing is that we said we're in our roadmap, we said we're going to do some restructuring, just making sure we consolidate our structure. And so we want to do some stuff, particularly around Claire's area in business support. So there are two posts we're putting together there. One is a finance officer post, and one is bringing together supporter care stuff that Dawn has been looking after for us, with the volunteer care and the training plans, and bring that all into one post under Clare Estonia. Now that affects George's role, because you know she's looking after the BCARS volunteer area. We want to bring that across to all the areas. So we're talking with Georgia. She's got various options that she can look at as she looks forward, because we've got a support worker role in BCARS that we've got some funding for now, working with Claire Holly. So that's the start of the little changes we want to make. So we'll keep you in touch with anything else on that. Lovely bit of good news this last week was the doorstop shop opened on Saturday. £320 they took in the first day, which is great. Well done, Rob. Well done, Leo, and the trainees for getting that all ready. It looks tremendous. I'll send you a photo of the sign above the shop. It just looks great. And actually, if they want some more gear, if you've got any stuff that could be sold through the shop. So on Wednesdays, I'm going to look out some stuff this afternoon, which you can take down on Wednesday for next Saturday's shop opening. Lots of stuff. Just take that time to reflect. I was reminded that in the very end of the New Testament, in Revelation, it says that at one point the whole of heaven stops and is silent. And one of the reasons is that Jesus is on the throne and is in charge. And that for me is quite a good reminder for this week, that whatever we're facing, God's in charge, God knows what's going on, and we're going to stand with you and help you in everything that we can do. So go with it, folks. Go, keep strong.